Hello everyone, this is Kirk. Today I'm going to show you how I modeled this solar panel um, using the free version in SketchUp. Normally I use the pro version in the studio, but I wanted to show you that you can use the free version and do some pretty cool modeling. If you're thinking about purchasing SketchUp, this is a great way to play with the system. It doesn't have all of the functionality that the Pro version has, but you can still do some pretty cool stuff with the free version. So you can you get an opportunity to see what you can do here. Anyway, I'll give you a quick rundown of how I built this, and you can try following along and modeling it yourself. Feel free to copy it. This is a model that I designed and came up with, and sharing it with you all for free. So feel free to copy the model. Anyway, let me show you how I did it. First, what we're gonna do, I'll go through and I'll make sure, instead of using quick commands, I'm going to come over to the toolbar so you can actually see exactly what I'm clicking on, so that as we build this, you know exactly what to click on and what to use. So right now I'm going to come over here to this icon, which looks like a rectangle with a little radius, with an arc in it, basically. This is the rotated rectangle. This allows you to draw a rectangle in pretty much any direction. So I more than often use this rather than just the standard rectangle, just because it's just quick and easy, but really no other reason than that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and click on that. Come down here, and I'm going to pull this up on the green axis, and I want to make this 6 foot 8 inches, and then I want to pull over here along the red axis. As you can see, I want to make sure that we're on that red axis, and I want to go 3 foot 2 inches. Okay, then I'm going to come over here to where you see this push pull tool. I want to go ahead and click on that, and then I want to click on the offset tool, and I'm going to go ahead and pull. Actually, I'm going to hit escape, so I'm going to undo that, and actually I'm going to go ahead and pull this up first. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up to 2 inches, and now let's go ahead and click on the offset tool, and I'm going to pull that until, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit 0.5 enter, and that gives me half an inch. And then what I want to do is, then I'm going to come over to where you see the tape measure tool. So I want to get this tape measure tool. You can see that icon right there, tape measure tool. I want to pull 0.5, so half an inch, and then I'm going to go ahead and do that again, 0.5, and then I'm going to go back to the first reference line that I put on, and I'm going to go ahead and hit 6 inches, and then from that line, that reference line, I want to pull back 0.5 inches, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to pull up 0.5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and pull another 0.5 inches, go back to that first reference line, pull up 6 inches, and then pull back from that 0.5 inches, so half an inch. Now I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab my drawing tool, so I'm going to grab the pencil, and from this point I want to go ahead and hit the diagonal on this little square, and then I want to go ahead and hit this line to this point, and then I want to go ahead and do another diagonal, and then come down here, hit that point. Then I want to go ahead and keep doing that. So I'm going to hit the diagonal again. I'm going to come back over here, hit this point, the diagonal, and then I'm going to finish this finish that out. So at this point, I can actually erase these lines because they no longer have any value for me. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. And then I want to go ahead and click my select, so the arrow, the select tool, and I want to go ahead and get this relatively flat and plumb, and I want to select that whole thing there, and I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I want to make this a component, and let's just call this a 6x6 solar I don't know, what are they called, solar tile. Let's call it a solar tile. Oops, solar tile. That I think makes sense. So 6x6 solar tile, and we're going to go ahead and save that. And then what we're going to do is now we're going to come back over here. We're going to hit what is called the move tool, which is these 4 arrows pointing in all different directions, and then we're going to go ahead and click where the blue lines come together. So if that is not showing, if you see that is not selected, we want to go ahead and select that so that you get all of this is blue now, and that is the whole component, including its border inside of the. And the great thing is that is actually on the lines of the outer lines of this make up this border of the component, even though inside the component the corners of this is knocked off, but you can still see it here. So we can actually use that for reference, and we can click on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over that point. I'm going to hit Control, and then you can see that adds a little plus. That means I'm now copying this, and I'm going to go ahead and left click. Now that is selecting that guy. I'm going to come over here, and the only problem, and then I'm going to land that right next to this one, and then I'm going to go times 5, and that makes 5 copies. So we had 1, and now we've added 5 more, so we've made 5 copies of this initial one. And the reason we did that is we were 36.2 minus the 1 inch here minus 1 inch there puts us right at 36 inches, or 3 feet. 3 feet divided by 6 inches is 6 total panels. So that's where we get that. So now what we want to do is we want to get our select button again, and then we're going to go ahead and left click and pull to the left, and we just have to touch all of those squares, and now all of those are selected. But now I've also selected this this plane here. So what I want to do is hit Shift Control and then go ahead and pull that again to the left, and then that now deselects that that plane, so, or the sheet that's there. So now I'm going to go ahead and come back down, and I'm going to hit my move tool again. And so I want to select the move tool, and then I want to come down here, and because I didn't leave my reference lines, I should have left the reference lines until I was actually completed with this portion, because they actually give me a place to actually land the tiles along that reference line. And so you saw I was kind of hesitant to land this here, but it still landed where it needed to. But this way, if I go ahead and click here instead, because I don't have my reference line, or I can actually come over here, hit my measure tool, my tape measure, I can double click on this, and now that reference line is back. So what that does, and then let's go ahead and put this reference line back in. So what that does is give me the intersection of that point, where that point is, where this plane's in. So it's important, you'll see, if we do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control, so that's going to copy all of everything that's selected, and then what you can see here is that then it gives me a place to land on that intersection with my selection. Now I know that it's 6'6" because we were at 6'8" minus the 1 inches on each side. So this is 6'6", and so I know that there are 13 total rows that will be made by these 6-inch squares. So, so I've already got one. So I'm gonna go ahead and click, and then I'm gonna go times or shift 8, which is the star, which is times. So I did that, and then I'm going to go 12. So I'm making 12 copies on top of the original. So now I've got 13 total. And so if you look, I now have a filled in. That's all filled in. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take my I'm going to go up here to where I had my offset tool. I'm going to go ahead and click on the push pull. I want to pull this down, and I'm going to go 0.25, and then I'm going to, now I want to color these panels, and I want to do something, let's see, not mirror, let's see, maybe, what do we got for mirror options? Maybe that's what I want to do. So let's edit this component. Nope, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Let's go to metal. We've got dark metal. Let's hit this instead. And I want to edit that, and it's not going to let me edit it. Let me see, is there anything else we could potentially use? We've got water. This is really dark water. That might be kind of cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, 0.25, and there, I'm going to go ahead and close that component. Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. I actually like that better than the other one. So that's kind of a neat, it almost kind of looks more like a solar panel. In the Pro version, I can actually, what I did is I took this window, and it's got cloud reflection, and I actually did that, but then I can actually edit it in the Pro version, so it actually made it look like dark panel with a cloud look to it, so it actually looked like a solar panel reflecting the cloud, so it was kind of cool. So it was like a dark panel, but had a cloud feature to it. So then what I want to do here is, let's go ahead and click on a metallic looking color here. What is this one? This is aluminum. Let's go ahead and use aluminum. And I'm going to go ahead and get all of these guys. I probably would have grouped those two, but I didn't, and it's not pertinent. It would have made this a little easier, because then I could have hid them, and then I could have actually just selected this whole thing and colored it one time, but that's okay. So here is a solar panel. What I'll do now, though, is I want to go ahead and group. Actually, I'm going to make this a component, and I'm going to make this solar panel. Let me just call it 6x3 or something. Anyway, so now you got a solar panel. That's a component. So now what you can do is, if you want to make an array of these, you can come over here, hit Control, move that over. I'm going to go ahead and hit 3 foot 3 inches. That would create a space of about an inch between them. And I'm going to go ahead and Shift 8 or star, which is times, and let's go ahead and say 7. And then now that gives me an array of 8 solar panels, and let's say maybe we want to do a larger array. Let's go ahead and take that up. So I can right click, or I can left click and pull to the left and select all of those, or I can left click and make sure everything is inside of that. Either way. So if you wanted to only just select a few, you can do that. You just have to touch them, or you can select everything inside the box, pulling to the right. So either way. So let's go ahead and select those, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go ahead and hit my move tool. I'm going to go ahead and hit control, and then let's go ahead and move those up. We just have to make sure, we're on the green axis. And let's go ahead and, so we're at 6'8", so let's go 6'9". Oops, what did I do? 6 foot, oh. Let's not do that. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm not sure what I hit something there. I clicked on the wrong thing, but let's go ahead and click here. We're going to hit control, and that again is making a copy, and then you can see where it says online, but you can also see that the green line is also highlighted. That just tells me that I'm in the right spot. And so now I can go ahead and type in 6'9". I'm going to hit enter. That puts it 1 inch up, and then I can go ahead and let's say times 3. So now I've got an array that is 4 by 8, and that creates kind of a nice little square. So you can see there. Now I've just created a solar array. So there's that's how we do it. Let's go ahead and go back. I'm going to show you something kind of cool. So if you knew roughly, if like say you knew you're on a roof that had an angled bit, I'm just going to go ahead and pull a reference line. I'm going to come down here and hit my rotate tool. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and let's just go ahead and pull that. Let's just say 15 degrees. I'm going to click 15 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly move that to the point of this guy here, and then I'm going to add another reference line here of 1 inch, and I'm going to show you something kind of cool. 1 inch, and that's where I'm going to copy and land this, and then you'll see what I'm going to do here really quick. Okay, I need to select all these guys. I don't want to select the reference lines, so I'm just making sure I'm just getting the panels themselves. And then now I'm going to go ahead and hit this move tool. I'm going to go ahead and control click, left click on that, and then I'm going to move this into this position right here, right on that intersection of that 15 degree angled line and the 1 inch reference line. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and then I'm going to go times 3, and then now I have a bias. It's an array kind of sitting on a bias. So now it's just staggered a little bit, and you can do a bunch of different things like that. So anyway, that was kind of cool. So there you go. That's how you model a solar panel and a solar array. Hope you had fun. Until next time, have a great day.